This is Entrepreneurs Get Visible, the podcast for people who want more impact, influence, and income. I'm Anna Parker-Naples, and I'll be sharing with you proven methods from leading entrepreneurs that help you get visible as an authority in your field. Because anything's possible when you get visible. Hey, so today I want to talk to you about how you can get accelerated results in your business. And this is going to apply to you if you've been feeling a little bit stagnated in your business, a little bit heavy. You've maybe got to that point where you're not taking action, you're not making things happen. You actually, if you'll admit it to yourself, got a little bit bored by your business. So first of all, I want to invite you to notice the resistance that you're having. I think so often we will continue with a strategy because that's what the experts advise, whereas actually we feel really disconnected and switched off from it. I want you to notice if you're completely honest with yourself, are the offerings that you are putting out into the world, do they actually represent you? Are they actually taking you towards that grander, bigger vision, mission, and purpose? Or have you created something that your heart and soul doesn't sit behind? Because I think when those things happen, you're going to get that lull. You're going to get that switched off, maybe even a level of resentment about what you're doing with your business. And it's very, very hard to admit that to the people around you. So I want you to be totally honest with yourself. I want you to be asking yourself, am I actually happy? Is my business bringing me joy? Am I delivering and offering the right services, the right products, the right services? Because if you don't, I want you to be so honest with the fact that that's bringing you down. The sooner you can acknowledge what's going on for you, why you aren't taking the actions that you want to be taking, the sooner we can get you onto a path of actually creating the business that you want, the business that brings you joy, the one that feels aligned with your values and your mission and your purpose. So in order to do this, I want you to think about what would your business look like 3 years from now if you allowed yourself to do the thing that you're really passionate about. And when you're thinking about that 3-year mark, your life could be completely different. Your life could be completely different. Your income levels could be completely different. Your connections, your friendships, your family setup could be completely different in 3 years from now. So I want you to have the courage and the bravery to actually let yourself dream, and not dream as in pie in the sky, but actually when you live your life at that higher level, when you're switched on, when you're engaged, when you're motivated, what would you allow yourself to move towards? Because when you've got that big vision and you're tapping into it every single day, you're remembering what it's for, you can remember and recall whether there is some joy and connection in what you're putting out there. So once you've got that big 3-year vision, then I want you to think, okay, so if that's where I am in 3 years, what will I have created in 1 year? And in 1 year's time, think about what are the 3 hard, firm goals and boundaries that I want to set for myself. So I did this with myself recently. I've been feeling a little bit switched off, a little bit disconnected. And I always knew as I stepped into being known as the podcast queen, that was not all I am. And that while I built those income streams, I was happy and content to own that space and claim that space. But I always knew that beyond there was something else. So when I did this exercise for myself recently, I decided that the 3 things I'm really wanting to build is business with lots of live events, with lots of connection with people and real transformational work. So when I sit down to do this exercise, yes, I do want to make millions, and that's okay. I still want that. But I want to make sure I make those millions doing the thing that I'm really passionate about. And I'm in that fortunate position now because I owned the podcast space that I have income streams that allow me to do that. So for me, in terms of 1 year time, the 3 big things that I'm going to have achieved are I'm going to have hosted my first live event, I'm going to have hosted a retreat, and I'm going to have done a TEDx talk. Now, a couple of those things are kind of out of I can't completely make them happen. It's not me who is able to just waltz in and get a TED talk. There's legwork that has to be done. But that isn't going to happen if I don't take action to get there. So in 1 year's time, I want to have created those 3 things. So think about yourself in 1 year from now, 12 months from now, what will you have done? Then think about Well, what does that mean in 9 months? How many of those things have I created and what stage in the journey towards them have I gone? Then in 6 months, so start to think about your diary. What needs to happen in a short period of time, a short 6-month period in order to be at that point? Then look at what happens in 3 months, and then you start to get clearer on your actions for now. And this is really important. Because when you're building that big vision, it doesn't happen all by itself. It happens because you decide that you are going to take action and you are going to make it happen with daily commitment, passion, and therefore you'll get accelerated results. So what are the things that you need to take action on today and then this week in order to be on that path to creating that success in 3 years' time? Now, what's really powerful is that these things don't have to take forever. So in this circumstance, I knew that I wanted to host a retreat. Well, you know what? I'd been thinking about that for a while. I had connections. So I reached out to them. I'd got that booked within 3 days. I decided I wanted to host an event. Now, I can't host at the moment because of COVID, a 100-person event. But what I can host is a 30-person event. So you may have seen, if you've been following my social media recently, that I decided that I would host a 30-person event, and it was happening. And I went from idea to booking the venue, getting everything lined up within less than 72 hours. That's the power of taking accelerated action. It allows you to get accelerated results. We haven't quite sold out. As I speak now, we have a handful of tickets left. But the amount of people who signed up within minutes of that going live, just for me, gave me that reaffirmation that I'm on the right path. So if you would like to find out about my Amplify Live, which is going to be a transformational workshop for business owners, people who want to get their mojo back, get reignited, then you can go to annapn.co/Amplify Live. That's all in lowercase, but you can make sure you find that in the show notes or in my bio if you're over on Instagram. The other thing that I decided I wanted was to do a TED Talk. Now, as I said, this is not entirely up to me whether it happens or not, but I could diarise that I was going to spend valuable time connecting with LinkedIn or TEDx organisers over on LinkedIn. So I was doing my research into TEDx talks, reading blogs about how to do it. I've got books on my shelf that have laid dusty and dormant for a very long time, and I took action because I've put in my diary exactly what needs to have happened in the 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months mark in order for this to have happened in a year. So if you've been feeling stale and stagnant in your business, I want you to think, what can I do about it to get accelerated results? You need to tap into that bigger mission, vision, and purpose. Then you need to think, well, what's coming up for me? Why do I think I can't do these things? Address the blocks that are coming up for you. That's really important. But then work out, well, how could you? Not how can you not, how could you make this happen, and how could you do it fast? And then you need to take committed action, let the world know this is what you're planning, put it out into the world, tell someone, an accountability partner, or better yet, on your podcast, on your videos, on your social media, so that you are committed to making that accelerated result happen. So if you do want to come along to Amplify Live and grab one of the last few tickets that we have, go to annapn.co/Amplify Live, and I will see you there in just a few weeks' time.
Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs Get Visible. To get your free checklist on how to raise your profile and to find out about our community, go to Parker-Naples.co.uk/Get Visible.